on, everyone? Oops, chair just attacked me. What's going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to a unscheduled channel update for Tuesday, March 27th, 2012. And the reason that I say it's unscheduled is because I had not planned on doing this by any means. There's just a bunch of stuff that's kind of come up over the past couple of days since I made my weekend preview video. And I really feel like it's important stuff. It needs to be addressed, and it's just some of it's odds and ends, but other stuff is stuff that I want to kind of bring to the forefront and maybe bring up for discussion. So I feel like we should talk about it. I mean, I didn't plan on doing this. I literally, I woke up, I'm having my coffee, and you know, my hair is all fucked up. I didn't get anything ready or anything for this video. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I want to say is I forgot to mention in my weekend preview video that this week I am absolutely doing another episode of Ask the King on Thursday. Now, I'm sure most of you know what that is, but for those of you who don't, Ask the King is my monthly series where I answer viewer questions. And so you can either submit questions on my website, thekingofhate.com. There's actually a thread in the forums there. It's called Ask the King. There's already a thread up there, sticky, for this week's episode. I already got over 100 questions in there to review, but anyone who wants to post up in the next couple of days, feel free. You also have an opportunity to ask me a question pretty much almost live on Thursday on my Twitter account, @TheyCallMeDSP. What I actually do is, when I am reading through the forum questions, I also post up on my Twitter account that I'm accepting Twitter questions. That's your chance to just throw something out there, and I usually pick a handful of those off of Twitter to answer in the episode as well. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I completely forgotten to mention it in the weekend preview, and I didn't want anyone who's like a newcomer or who isn't, hasn't seen an episode of Ask the King to not know that that was coming up this week on Thursday. Okay, so just so you're aware, that is coming up. It's good coffee. Also, a couple things that happened this week, some developments that I want to talk about. I do want to mention this just really quickly. There have been some people who have sent me things, maybe donations, maybe just some cool stuff that they wanted me to have to my P.O. box. Now, if you're not aware of this, I do have a P.O. box. It's actually a town over from me because there was no local P.O. box at any local post office near me. There are no local post offices near me, actually. And so I have a P.O. box that usually it's for like the holidays, for Christmas. People send me Christmas cards. Every once in a while people send me a Christmas present and stuff, which is very nice, and I'm very appreciative of that. Or sometimes people send me donations. Like, for example, someone donated Mega Man 5 to me last year when I was doing my Mega Week and I was looking for the game and couldn't find it. Well, over the past few months, some people have contacted me on my website and said, Phil, here's some stuff that we'd like to send you. And some of it I said, yeah, sure, go right ahead. Well, unfortunately, what's been happening, and this I was not aware of, it's only come to light over the past couple of months, is that let's face it. I mean, if you live in the United States, you have to face it at this point. The United States Postal Service sucks. And I know that's a generalized term, and I apologize if someone or if you work at the post office, but as a service, there is no service with the United States Postal Service, okay? At this point, it's a dying business. It's actually in bankruptcy. It looks like it might actually go away, and so mail carrying might end up going to privately held companies. And that's a shame, because it's been around for so long. It's been an institution of the United States. But to give you some perspective, it's very unreliable. If I need to send something or order something, and I do it by USPS, most of the time it doesn't get there in time. And just to give you some perspective, I've got a P.O. box. I bought the largest P.O. box available at my post office, which is like this deep. It's really deep, and it's about this wide. So you're talking maybe 1.5 feet wide to maybe 3 feet deep, okay? People send me stuff, and as simple as a poster. People will send me a poster. Now, of course, the poster probably comes in one of those long tubes. Maybe it doesn't fit in the P.O. box, so they have to keep it on a shelf in the back. And I'll be honest, the past couple of months I've been really busy, especially with Project 7, spending 1 to 2 weekends working on that, either writing it or filming it. A lot of that free time that I used to have is taken up. And because of that, I don't have time to do a lot of the stuff I used to do. So I used to, monthly go to my P.O. box and check it once a month. I just have not had time to do that over the past couple of months. I think the last time I checked my P.O. box was maybe the middle to the end of January. So I just have not had time to do it. I've been getting messages from fans saying, Phil, I tried to send you something really cool and it got returned to me. What gives? Well, apparently It's not that my P.O. box is full. It's that if the U.S. Postal Service feels that something doesn't seem to fit in my P.O. box, that they just return it. If I don't pick it up within 2 to 3 days, they just fucking send it back. And I think that's absolutely absurd. Like, why am I paying them for a rental space? And by the way, it's not cheap. It's hundreds of dollars a year to get this P.O. box. And just because something is slightly bigger and I have to put it on a shelf somewhere, that's it. After 2 days, it gets fucking returned. And the other thing is, they don't notify you. It would be great if the United States Postal Service could email me or call me and say, Phil, we've got this package. It's bigger than your P.O. box. Come get it. I'd immediately go over there and get it. But there's no notification. So in some cases, there's literally no way for me to know that I need to go pick something up. And there was no chance for me to ever pick it up before these assholes returned it. And the thing that really gets my go is that a couple months ago, a t-shirt, a fucking t-shirt that was probably mailed in a package not any bigger than this strategy guide, which obviously would fit in my P.O. box, got returned to the guy who sent it to me. And he's like, why would they do that? And to which I answered, I have no fucking clue. Because my P.O. box was actually empty at the time. They're just lazy. They didn't feel like fucking doing their work. They probably never even put it in my P.O. box. They just left it on a shelf somewhere. And then when they saw that no one picked it up in 2 days, they fucking returned it. So I apologize to everyone for any troubles you've been having if you've tried to use my P.O. box. And the bottom line is this, and I said this already. Please run it by me if you want to send me something on the website, or you can send me a PM here on YouTube, and I will approve it personally, and then let me know when you mail it, so at least I know generally the time frame to go pick it up. Now, I completely take responsibility for the fact that over the past couple of months, I know a couple people said they were sending me stuff. I have not had a chance to go pick it up. That's my fault. But I want to be more conscious of this, and I don't want people wasting their time and money to send me stuff, and then I can never get it. So let's just be a little bit more conscious around there. As stuff comes up during the year, people look to donate and stuff. Or in the case of the poor guy, if there was a guy that wanted to send me 3 Zelda posters, I said, yeah, those look really cool. And then I never got them because the post office returned them right away. I apologize, and hopefully we can work the bugs out, okay? So that's that. Obviously, I would love to give everyone my personal address, but then if that gets out, and then, by the way, it's not that it's anything private. People could find it on the internet anyway. They have before. And I'm sure now some troll will fucking put it in here, and I don't care, you know? But if I'm publicly talking about my public address all the time, there's a chance that obviously, you know, that could get out and I could get a bunch of spam mail and stuff, and I don't want that to happen, so. Okay, and now I talked about that way too much. Something else I want to bring up, and then I want to, let's see, I think there's two things I want to bring up, and then the last thing I'm going to talk about I think is really important. It's really the reason I'm making this video, so please hang in there, okay? The next thing I just want to let everyone know is that, as you know, speaking of trolls, there are people who go above and beyond to do really weird trollish things just to make me look bad. And I know, it's ridiculous that you would think that someone is so bored or literally has nothing to do with their life that they take time out to try to hurt me in some way, even though they don't know me, is absolutely absurd, but it happens daily. Let's put it that way. So this week, all of a sudden, people started getting tweets from what appeared to be my Twitter account, @TheyCallMeDSP. And it was really weird stuff. Like Venomous Fat Man, who's, you know, a fan, a friend, started getting weird tweets from me, and he's like, what the fuck does this stuff mean? Magfest, the actual people who run Magfest responded to me and said, Phil, we got some really weird, insulting tweets from you. What is this about? Is this really you? We don't think it's you, obviously, but we want to just clear this up. What the hell's going on? And so I looked into it. There's actually a guy, if you can believe it, there's actually a guy who took the time out to copy my background from my Twitter page, about 10 to 20 old tweets from my Twitter page, pictures that had been posted on my Twitter page, and he basically made a carbon copy of my Twitter account. Only what he did is that he abused the Twitter system, and instead of it being They Call Me DSP, it's They, C-A, capital I, Me DSP. So it looks identical to They Call Me DSP, even though that's not what it is. And this is nothing new or original, trust me. This has been done on YouTube a bunch of times, people trying to impersonate me, but it was just kind of weird because here's Twitter, something that, you know, a lot of people use it, but it's kind of an emerging technology, meaning it's just starting to become mainstream over the past couple of years, so people aren't necessarily used to, like, trolling and clones and stuff like that, and so all of a sudden this happening, people were taken aback. They're like, what the hell's going on? And then they realized, oh shit, it's a troll. It's someone impersonating him. So within a day of that happening, people started contacting me, and I tweeted about it on my Twitter account. And then this guy made a clone of John Rambo's account. So I think what he did was like, it's like Super John Rambo X is John Rambo's Twitter. So he did Super John Rambo and then 0 instead of an O. And it looks identical to Super John Rambo X, so you would think that it's John Rambo when it's really not. And that's bad. Do not check that out. I should have said that before. I said, that guy, if it hasn't been taken down yet, he's got some pornographic shit on that one that really is messed up. And I'm not doing this to draw attention to it. I'm just doing this to try to create awareness that if you see something weird, if you see me making a comment that seems very out of place, if you see John Rambo making a comment that seems very out of place, whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on my website, whether it's anywhere, chances are it's probably not us. It's some asshole trying to troll and make us look bad. So I'm happy that, you know, the people who got those weird ass messages at least contacted me and said, was it really you? And of course I said, no, it's some asshole troll. And then they, it was all taken care of. Because unfortunately, a lot of people use Twitter and stuff like that for business reasons. And imagine if some asshole goes out and starts fucking spamming stuff, fuck this company, fuck that company, that could be bad. And for me, it's not a big deal because, again, I'm not really so big time that it's going to hurt my image because some troll goes around fucking doing this stuff. And to be completely honest, it's so easy to block. Like, immediately once I saw that, I blocked it, I tweeted about it, hundreds of people blocked this guy, hundreds of people reported this guy. Chances are, if he's not already shut down, in the next couple of days the accounts will be shut down. It's not a big deal. But just to draw awareness, if you see something weird out there and you don't understand it, it doesn't make sense, it doesn't sound like something I would say, Rambo would say, it's probably not us, it's some asshole impersonating us, and just block them, okay? Okay, and now I'm out of coffee. Shit. Hold on, I'm going to get my mug from over here because there's water in it. So now that that's out of the way, speaking of trolls again, some asshole named DSPGaming has apparently been making fucking vlogs of all kinds of stupid shit, talking shit about me, and it's ridiculous. Like, he fucking posts about Justin Bieber all the time. It's really stupid, but he's just another one of these assholes on Twitter who just, like, is full-time trolling on me, and I even see him leaving fucking stuff on my videos, DSPGaming, this piece of fag, he's not gonna play this game. It's like, come on, another fucking full-time troll. Like, I don't have enough. But I just wanted to let everyone know, if you see that, obviously, it's just, it's a troll. What else are you gonna do? Fucking asshole. Now the reason I really wanted to make this video, and I know I have about 10-15 minutes left. Please, this is the important part, but I wanted to get all that stuff out first, because that stuff was important too. I want to talk about the Blades of Time playthrough that's going on right now. A little bit about just fan feedback, what I'm seeing, the views. Now keep in mind, right now it's actually about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon, okay? So the videos, most of those videos haven't even been up for 12 hours yet. And I fully understand that on YouTube, when videos go up, it takes a while for people to see them. That I have an international fan base, and so not everyone watches the videos right away. And that it actually takes 24 hours from when you originally upload a video on YouTube for the view count to update properly. What actually happens is that the views lock around 300, and then after about 24 hours it refreshes and it should give the proper view count. Usually it actually isn't even correct, but in general they update around 24 hours, okay? So, first of all, my thoughts on Blades of Time, which is what I'm playing right now, and I plan on playing it today and probably completing it today. I think it's not a spectacularly groundbreaking game, okay? But by no means do I feel that this game is bad. I think it's kind of interesting. I think the graphical design is really interesting. Some of the boss fights I've had, some of the puzzle aspects. This game has some really original things when it comes to light and darkness, when it comes to reversing time to solve puzzles or beat certain bosses, where you actually have to go backwards in time and clone yourself and have several of yourself attack a boss to kill him. I really thought that was interesting and fun, and I'm enjoying the game. And don't get me wrong, just like most games, there's a lot of things that annoy me. There's a couple things like really annoying game bugs in this game that I think are hilarious to watch. Like, for me to experience them, they're infuriating, but to watch, probably fucking funny as hell, okay? But here's the thing, and this is unfortunately, it's kind of like this bandwagon mentality that I've been seeing. It happened a month ago, actually a month and a half ago, with Final Fantasy 13-2, and now it seems to be happening with this game, okay? People are kind of just writing the game off and saying, well, first of all, this game is 3 weeks old, Phil didn't get to it when it was new, and I don't understand why he's playing this game. It seems like all the media said that this game was crappy and or average, and so I wish that he would have played something else. I'm not watching this, okay? And first of all, I'm not just like saying that out of my ass. There's comments on the videos. I did 29 parts yesterday. There's comments on almost every video to that effect. That, oh, I watched this one part and I don't think this game's any good. It sucks. I'm not watching anymore, and I wish he played something else. You know? Now, first of all, obviously that kind of comment is detrimental because anyone else who doesn't know about Blades of Time and hasn't watched the video yet may open it up, go to that first comment, oh shit, this guy says it sucks, closes the video and doesn't watch anymore. So right there, that kind of comment is fucking detrimental. If you were a fan who was thinking before you commented, and I've talked about this so many times before, think before you comment, you would think, okay, maybe I don't like this playthrough, I'm just going to leave. Don't have to leave a fucking stupid negative comment on the video that might turn others off to the video, okay? But what I'm seeing is two things. Number one, the views are low, okay? Now, the videos have been out for 12 hours. Some of the videos don't even have the 300 view count that it locks at before that 24-hour point when all the views refresh on YouTube. And that's very abnormal. Even for the worst games that I've played, usually the views max out at 300, and, you know, within, say, 12 hours of me first uploading the videos. And then, you know, obviously when it hits the 24-hour mark, then it refreshes. And generally, even the worst games that I've played get about 1,000 views per part once it comes to that 24-hour mark. But right now, here we are, you know, some of those videos, more than 12 hours they've been uploaded, and they don't even have the 300 views. And that's, obviously, that's something that I have to look at. Being that, yes, I'm doing this for fun, and by the way, I do not regret my decision to choose Blades of Time and play that game first this week. I stand by that decision. I think it's an interesting game. It's a game that I've wanted to get to and didn't have a chance, and that's why I'm playing it now that I have a down week with no major releases. But I also, at the same time, do have to think in a business mind and say, why do these videos have such low views? And I think it's a combination. It could be a combination of certain things. I'd like to get everyone's thoughts on this. What I'm actually going to do, even though I am going to upload the rest of Blades of Time today, I'm going to leave this channel update as the main video on my channel page so a lot of people see it. And I'd like to get your feedback as to what the deal is, why people aren't watching the videos, okay? And I think there's several reasons, okay? Number one, I think that, again, it's this mob mentality where if the mainstream media says that something's average or something sucks, and especially if the game's been out for several weeks, people seem to just take that for granted, okay? And I do find that unfortunate. And the reason I find that unfortunate is, as we know, as we've talked about how many times in the past couple years, the mainstream media pretty much does a piss poor job when it comes to reviewing games. A lot of the times they're highly opinionated reviews. They don't compare the game to other games of similar quality or similar gameplay out at the time to properly scale the scores in their reviews. Some reviews say the game's horrible and then all of a sudden the score's great. Or some reviews say the game's pretty good and then the score's low. It makes no sense. And I really feel that my scoring system is a better one than what the mainstream media has used in the past and still uses today. And so when I try a game, regardless of what the mainstream media says, I give it a fair shake. And I really feel that I've been doing that with Blades of Time. And even though, yeah, like I said, it's not an amazing game, it's nothing groundbreaking, I don't think it's a bad game. Let's face it, I've played bad games. Listen, I played Conduit 2, I played Epic Mickey, I played Body Count, I fucking played Kane and Lynch 2. You want to talk about shitty fucking games, those were shitty fucking games, okay? And I suffered through those, and people watched it. And that's kind of what I'm wondering is going on right now. Why are people not watching the Blades of Time playthrough? Because even in the past, even if the game was bad, people were like, well, that's cool, we'll still watch it because it's funny to watch Phil rage about the bugs or the annoyances of the gameplay of this game. And I'm going to be honest, there's some really fucking hilarious parts to this playthrough. There's one part where excuse me, that was disgusting. There's one or two parts where my controller shuts off, and the game doesn't tell me. Like, you would think if the controller shut off that the game would say, you know, controller has turned off, you know, alert. Because usually games do that, but the game kept playing with my controller off, and I'm looking at it like, what the fuck's going on? And it wasn't the battery, so it wasn't even the controller. Apparently it was a game bug with the game. It turns off your controller. It's like, what the fuck's that about? There was another part where I was fighting a mini-boss, and he vanished, and I was stuck in a room for like 5 minutes because he vanished, and I was supposed to kill him to move on, and then my console froze. So there's some really fucking, there's a puzzle there where I fucking flip out. There's a puzzle where it's annoying, you keep falling off of platforms, you have to start the puzzle over. I fucking rage like crazy. So there's some pretty fucking good, funny parts to this playthrough, and it's because the game isn't superb, you know what I mean? Now in the past, like I said, people seem to say, wow, that's funny as hell. Now it seems like people are like, well, the game's not good, I'm just not going to watch it. Now, I think, number one, this again, like I said, the number one reason is this mob mentality. People, because the game's been out for a few weeks. If the game were new, I think people might give it a better chance. Because the game's been out for a few weeks, common consensus seems to be, gee, the game sucks. And possibly the other possibility is because it's been out for a few weeks, people have already seen a playthrough of this on another channel, which is perfectly acceptable. I understand that can happen. People aren't watching. The other thing is that I really feel that at this time, because of what's going on with me, as you know, now I'm doing this full time, okay? This isn't like 2 years ago, again, when I was playing Kane and Lynch 2, it wasn't my full-time job. You know, that was just the only game videos I did for that day or two when I played Kane and Lynch 2. And so it was like, alright, let's just see what DSP's up to. And then you could watch all of my videos, you could keep up with me. Now, literally, I'm putting out anywhere from 12 to, 30 videos a day, sometimes even more. And so people find it hard to keep up with everything, and so maybe people are saying, well, I didn't have time to watch Mass Effect 3 or finish Mass Effect 3, or maybe I didn't have time to watch this other playthrough like Operation Raccoon City, like Ninja Gaiden 3 stuff, Silent Hill Downpour, stuff that I've done over the past couple of weeks. Maybe you haven't gotten to that, so would you rather watch that or a playthrough that generally no one, you know, it's old, the game's already 3 weeks old, reviews say the game's kind of average, which one are you going to watch, you know what I mean? So I can understand that. I have more content out now than ever before, and so that could be the reason why a lot of people are choosing to maybe skip out on this playthrough, okay? The other thing is, and this happened last year too, the first quarter of the year, you know, January, February, and March, generally were pretty slow. Even last year, now keep in mind last year, January was kind of a clusterfuck because that was me transitioning. I had transitioned from YouTube to Blip TV, then Blip TV kicked me off, so I was going from Blip back to YouTube. So January was kind of lost. But February and March were slow last year, absolutely. They were slow months. I think that a lot of people, after the whole Christmas rush or whatever in that hardcore gaming season, are all gamed out. They don't watch everything that comes out. They don't play everything that comes out, that's for sure. And it's a harder sell, not only to sell games, but to get people to watch game playthroughs during the first quarter of the year because they're just busy with other stuff. So I fully understand that as well. But the thing that concerns me, and this is what I want to really address before we sign off here, because I know I'm running out of time. Actually, let me check here. Is that, yep, I only got like 5 more minutes. So let me get this wrapped up. If you actually read the negative comments on the videos, and I wish people would kind of do this, and then they would understand, is that everyone says, first of all, no one asked for this game. That's completely false. There really was like just a non-agreement in what people wanted to see this week. Some people said Blades of Time, some people said Yakuza Dead Souls, some people said Silent Hill HD Collection, some people said Tales of Grace's F, some people said, I want to see MLB. Some people still are fucking asking for Dark Souls. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to fucking play Dark Souls, especially when I have all these new games that I never got to fucking play. I've like explained this several billion times, and people still ask for Dark Souls. At this point, it just constitutes trolling because they know I'm not going to play it. So, you're wasting your time if you leave a comment for Dark Souls, okay? But anyway, but then people even go completely off the rails. Phil, I want you to go back and do Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney's Last Case. Well, wait a minute. I've been saying for the past 5 days that I have bad allergies, and right now today is probably the first day where I kind of feel okay, but even now I can still feel it dripping. I might sneeze at any point during this video. How can I do all those voiceovers and voices for it if I have bad allergies, like use your head. People ask for stuff that logically cannot happen, okay? People ask me for Soul Calibur 5 online play. I haven't fucking played Soul Calibur 5 for 2 months. So now you want me to drop everything and start playing for several hours to relearn characters and go on, like, nonsensical things people ask for sometimes. But if you actually read the comments of the videos, this is the point I'm trying to make. No one agrees on what they wanted to see this week. It's all different. So it seems like the consensus is, well, we really don't want to see Blades of Time, but everyone wants something different. So I think the point I'm trying to make here is no matter what I chose to play this week, people were going to say, well, that's really not what I wanted to see. I wanted to see something else, because there's no agreement on what to see. Remember, this is the first free week that I've had in 2 months. It's the first week when there's been no retail releases worth playing, and therefore there's no reason for me to rush out and buy one and say, this is the game I'm playing today. So I'm trying to take some time to catch up on stuff I haven't gotten to. And people need to understand that, and at least in the past, for the most part, people have given me the benefit of the doubt and said, alright Phil, we trust your judgment. We know that if it's a game that you pick and it's good, it's going to be a fun playthrough. If it's a bad game or a mediocre average game, just your commentary and the way that you rage at stuff or whatever will still make it entertaining, so we're still going to watch. Now all of a sudden it seems for this particular game, Blades of Time, and about 2 months ago with Final Fantasy 13-2, the same thing happened. People were like, well, general consensus is this game's no good. I just don't want to watch it. And that's concerning to me, because I'm trying to be entertaining to you. And if you don't think that I'm being entertaining, then I need to either change or do something else. Even in the past, like when I was doing other playthroughs and I wasn't getting paid for it on YouTube, I would be concerned if I put videos up and no one watched them, you know what I mean? And not to say that no one's watching the Blades of Time playthrough. There are videos that have several thousand views, and as I said, the views don't update properly till 24 hours anyway. But it is still concerning to me to jump on those videos and look and see, oh shit, you know, some of them still don't have 300 views after 12 hours. That means it's something, there's a disconnect there. And so at least I hope that this video kind of clears up my mentality of why I'm playing it. Now, just so everyone knows, as the last thing as I close this channel update, I'm planning on playing Silent Hill HD this week. I am. Actually, I wanted to finish one game that was left over, and then I wanted to jump into Silent Hill, and I said, well, what game could I probably beat the quickest? Blades of Time. So that's why I'm really playing Blades of Time. Beat Blades of Time, get to Silent Hill HD, and I'm probably not going to play both. I'll probably play Silent Hill 2, and then once I've beaten that, see how much more time I have and start another game that maybe I can beat before I take some time off next week for Easter weekend, but we'll talk more about that as it approaches. So please give Blades of Time a chance, unless you're busy. If you're busy and you're watching something else, or you just don't have time to watch videos, I understand. But don't take this mob mentality of, oh, everyone said the game's average, it sucks. Check it out. I think the playthrough is worth watching. It's pretty fun. The game's pretty interesting. And the parts that suck are fun because I try to make them fun with my commentary. Alright? That's it for this channel update. I hope that it's informative. I hope it answered a lot of questions. And I had to get some stuff off my chest, obviously. Thanks for watching the whole thing. And I'll see you for more footage this week. Thanks.